An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK, make flying easy.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sports Show!
The 56th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show is bigger and better than ever. January 31st to February 2nd at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Don't miss it.
Sports Show!
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hello, I am Ayanna Blake, and welcome to Mind Your Mind. My girlfriend recently added a sign to her beauty shop that reads, "Life is beautiful." I know many may not see life the same way. Some may view it as hard, depressing, grievous, lonely, or even cruel. But does it have to be? I can't help but hear the reggae classic by Friday and Colonel Mike, "Life is what you make it." As I looked at her newly decorated wall with the words, "Life is beautiful," she looked at me and said, "You have to find the beauty in it. Despite how life has treated us, we must dig deep to find the beauty in it. After all, we are alive and breathing. Why not change your view and see the beauty in it?" I encourage you today to change your perspective. Step back and change the direction of your view. There is beauty in everything if you look close enough. I am Ayanna Blake, reminding you to mind your mind. For more inspiration, connect with me on social media or visit AyannaBlake.com. Until next time, take care of your mind and keep moving forward on your pathway to wellness.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Find all things The Ticket at theticketfm.com, all your social medias, anywhere you get your podcasts as well. Also find Carriker Chronicles, carrikerchronicles.com, also YouTube. Simply type in Carriker Chronicles. Loaded show today. We got AFC, NFC championship game reactions to give. Nebraska has a major portal visitor coming into Lincoln tomorrow. Big time offensive line transfer portal visitor. Going to talk about Rocco Spindler, give my thoughts on him. And a Husker Sports Roundup. Did you know that Nebraska's rifle team set a record and just outshot the Army rifle team? Jake, that is awesome and terrifying all at the same time. I don't know how you feel about that. We got women's basketball. We got all sorts of sports to catch up on, ladies and gentlemen. But if you didn't know, it's the Adam Carriker Show. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Things could be changing in the near future. We'll see how that all works out. But for now, it's noon to 1 p.m. Central Time here on 93.7 The Ticket. Steve Taylor drops in on Wednesdays, drops his knowledge basically Monday through Friday, noon to 1 p.m. Central Time. Tune in. Here's what you're going to get Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Here's what you're going to hear. You're going to hear Husker sports, college football, and sports in general. What you're going to get is unique insight, unbridled honesty, and producer Jake and I are going to have a whole lot of fun in the process. Before I start to talk about Nebraska's big-time transfer portal visitor that's coming in tomorrow, I got a question for you fine folks at home. Let me know your thoughts. All right, let me know your thoughts. What is that number they can text into, Jake?
402-464-5685.
All right, I think Fred Hoiberg's a good basketball coach, but I'm starting to see things here and there. Just lost 6 in a row. Some of these are like close games. Some of these have been ugly. Just going to ask, is there any reason to believe that Fred Hoiberg's job status might be in trouble in any way, shape, or form? Just let me know. All right, text into the text line. Jake just gave you the number. Also, we like to give away stuff here on the Carriker Show, Adam Carriker Show. Our prize for the daily trivia contest, $100 gift certificate to Automotive Solutions. All right, all you got to do is call in. You win, you bring you on air. I'm going to ask you a question that I do have prepared today. All right. All you got to do is call in to win, but bring you on air, ask you the question. If you can't get it right, maybe Jake can. We'll see what happens. All right. Again, the number never changes. Jake just said it, but for fun. What's that number again, Jake?
402-464-5685.
All right. Call in, get a free prize, bring you on air. We'll have some fun. Let's talk about Rocco Spindler. All right. Offensive lineman from Notre Dame, obviously. They just had a really good season, playing the national championship game. He's coming into Lincoln tomorrow. This is a big dude. This is a guy who can start at center for you. He can start at guard if you wanted to. But you could easily, if he ends up committing and coming, then you got Rocco Spindler, Henry Letowski, Justin Evans-Jenkins. You got a couple of guys who can snap the ball. You got guys who can play guard. You got Grant Bricks. You got Preston Tamoa, who we've talked about, a couple of redshirt freshmen, 4-star, highly recruited guys. Preston's out of Hawaii, one of the top players out of that state. Grant Bricks out of Iowa, one of the top players in the entire country coming out of high school. They can compete for playtime. If nothing else, maybe for the love of all that's holy, we could have some offensive line depth for a change. That'd be nice. Let's just say he comes. All right? Let's say he comes. Then you look at the offensive tackles. You got Elijah Pritchett. You got Gunnar Katula. Turner Corcoran is coming back. Teddy Prohaska is going to try to come back. There's other guys in that room, too. It's obviously challenging the more injuries you're trying to come back from. Part of me wonders. And actually, I chatted with Sean Callahan earlier today. I've said in the past, I wanted Bryce Benhart to go to guard. When Jake and I chatted on Friday about the O-line, he's like, well, that's the best we had at tackle. We had to leave him there. I always thought Bryce would be a better guard. Give him less space to play in. I feel the same way about Turner Corcoran, and his future in the NFL might be as a guard. But you look, the offensive tackle spots, potentially. All right. Could potentially be Elijah Pritchett, Gunnar Katula. You see what happens with Turner. You see who steps up as a young guy. I guarantee we're not done with transfer portal additions. For the love of all that's holy, it's January. Is it still January or is it February yet, Jake?
It's still January.
It's still January. I always have to keep an eye on February because that's when I'm like, all right, Valentine's Day's coming. Can't drop that ball. All right. So I'm safe for another few days at least. But Rocco Spindler, a little bit about him. And who knows? I have no inside info as to whether he's coming, whether he's not, where he's leaning. I know he's from Michigan. The Wolverines are absolutely on the table as a team he might go to. Okay. He was a 4-star coming out of high school, top 100 recruit in the country, started 23 games for the Fighting Irish, played over 1,300 snaps and only allowed 2 sacks. And he's rated the number 6 interior offensive lineman in the transfer portal right now. Now, in a perfect world, you're trying to bring in an offensive tackle. Those positions, it's becoming more and more like the NFL. You watch the NFL draft, it's quarterbacks, guys who can rush the quarterbacks, guys who can protect the quarterbacks, guys who catch balls from the quarterbacks, and guys who cover the guys who catch balls from quarterbacks. Those are the positions that are at a premium. Like we're talking offensive tackle, you're talking anywhere from $1 to $1.5 to $2 million NIL transfer portal money now. Guards, while important, okay, aren't going to require quite that amount of money. Nebraska's gone after several of the top tackles in the transfer portal. if you think about the top three, Naija Peat obviously went to Kentucky, didn't quite get him. We were one of the finalists. You look at Isaiah World. He came here, visited, ended up going to Oregon. Okay, they've got that Phil Knight, Nike money. I did get Elijah Pritchett. I believe he was probably considered to be third out of those top three offensive tackle portal transfers. Most question marks about him, certainly highest ceiling about him as well. So we'll see what happens there. In a perfect world, you're bringing in a tackle, but I've always said you got to bring in somebody, or somebody from within has to step up. I talked last Friday about how my biggest, in my career at Nebraska, my biggest improvement went from the fall of my true freshman year to that spring in spring practice. And I surprised everybody, including myself, if I'm being honest with you. I shocked myself. I was like, holy crap, I'm not getting pancaked by these dudes. This is amazing. All right. And then it just got better and better and better. So you never know who's going to surprise you. And I look forward to positive surprises. Hopefully we can avoid some of those surprises that aren't so exciting, especially on the injury front. Okay. And you know, I look at a guy like Stephon Thompson, a guy that we kind of anticipated coming in, and he started for Tony White as a true freshman at Syracuse as a linebacker. He started a couple games here, but didn't work out. Okay, so we want to have less of those and more of the positive surprises is what I'm getting at. All right, Jake, you got any? Okay, because I had you do this Friday. Starting offensive line as is right now. Let's say Rocco Spindler comes in. We don't know if he's going to, but just for kicks and grins, let's say he comes in. Who is then is the starting offensive line? And I want to preface all this by saying nothing should be handed out. Everything should be earned. Spots should be earned. I know how NFL locker rooms operate. The guys who are making the most money are going to get by far the most opportunities. And honestly, that's the way it should be. But at the end of the day, you still got to earn it. I will never forget when Seattle, he was the former LSU quarterback. They signed him to a big contract. Do you remember his name? And then they drafted this little known guy, Russell Wilson, in the 4th round. And he comes in and he earns a starting job with the Seahawks. And that guy played so little, I can't even remember his name now. And Russell Wilson turned into Russell Wilson, and people can kind of poke fun at him now, but he's had a phenomenal career. So my point is, while certain guys will get more opportunities, and I'm completely fine with that, the other flip side of that coin is at the end of the day, you still got to earn it. So who, if he came here, and let's just say the pieces to the puzzle fall as we think they will here in frickin' January, who would your starting offensive line be in the fall, Jake?
I think Tavarius Jackson might have been the name, but I'm not sure if that's for sure the Seattle kid.
No. He played he lost his job, so I forgot all about it. I'll be honest with you. Russell Wilson made him obsolete.
Yeah.
All right, but go ahead, Jake.
Keep going with it. But I was a guard short, I think, in my projected offensive lineman the other day. So Rocco Spindler fills in nicely. I think you'd still look at the tackles. I think Gunnar Gatula would still be the option again as currently stands. And then, like you said, Elijah Pritchett would be the other tackle there. Justin Evans you could have at center, and then I think Henry Lutovsky and Rocco Spindler would kind of fill it out. But again, there'd be competition kind of behind them. So I think that would be a very good addition. A little short, I know, like you said, maybe the fear or the biggest want is tackle, but some help at guard could certainly help along the way.
Oh, absolutely. At least have some depth. It would really be nice to have some depth. In a perfect world, I've always said 1 to 2 offensive linemen, because if we brought in one, let's make it a tackle, and we got some young, talented freshmen. Hopefully one of those 2 guys can at least compete for a starting spot, or at least add solid depth. If we're going to bring in an interior guy, when I said 1, I was thinking tackle. When I was thinking 1 or 2, tackle and guard or center. Okay, because Justin Evans-Jenkins can play center or guard. That's kind of what I was envisioning. So this, to me, it could be an exciting addition if he indeed does come to be a Husker. All right. Championship weekend. I got a whole bunch of Husker sports I want to get to on later in the show as well. Just a heads up. Championship weekend. What were your thoughts on this, Jake? Because I'm looking at a picture here. Kansas City running back Isaiah Pacheco took a picture with Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola in the Chiefs locker room. All right. And then our defensive line coach, good luck to Coach Braden. All right. Go get another Super Bowl, my man, before you come join us officially. Tweets out a picture with Dylan Raiola and Dawson Merritt inside the locker room after the game as well. A fan actually sent me this, okay? And this is Chad Borowski, so shout out to Chad. Apparently he's a Nebraska fan and a Chiefs fan. Here's what he said, and I quote, "It has been so weird being a Nebraska Chiefs fan. You lose all the one-score games on Saturday, and you win all of them on Sundays. A lot of truth to that. You know they won 12 one-score games this year, and they've won 17 overall. 17 one-score games as an overall whole, which is an all-time NFL record. All right, Jake, what are your thoughts on, seeing Dawson and Dylan in the locker room afterwards?
Well, it's cool, and hopefully that's the future for Dylan Raiola down the line as well. So maybe something that he can learn from. Obviously, you want to get to the NFL first, and then eventually the Super Bowl. But it's really cool to kind of see that connection. The Terry Braden connection as well. We know that Dylan Raiola has had the same quarterback coach is in contact with Patrick Mahomes. So not altogether the most surprising to see him at the game, but in the locker room, that's a little bit of an extra kind of cool thing to see there. So, I know it made it kind of rounds on Twitter, and sometimes the cosplay Mahomes stuff is certainly going to be mentioned there. So it just depends on how you look at it. But again, it's more attention for Nebraska football, for Dylan Raiola, to football fans at whole in a big moment. So I absolutely loved it. And hopefully, again, any small amount of anything you can get from the Chiefs or a Super Bowl team, the dominant team of this era, is good as well. Maybe pick something up. I don't know. Maybe it was something off the ground.
I like that. Pick something up, even if it's just trash off the ground. Any responses to the question I posed earlier, or anything from the text line in general there, Jake?
So we've got a text line fight here. Is Matt Flynn the name you were thinking about?
Yes, Matt Flynn. There it is.
But somebody else says Wilson beat Tavarius Jackson his rookie year. So
were they both in that quarterback room then?
They might have been both brought in. I can't remember.
Matt Flynn was a big contract. That's what I remember.
But in any case, Believer says jobs should be fine for Hoiberg unless you have a better option. Recycling coaches sucks.
So that's where I go. Okay, I go, okay, that's fine. Maybe you think this guy is or is not the best option. I think Fred Hoiberg is a good basketball coach. And obviously, this has been an insanely rough stretch. You watch, how do you go into Creighton and do what you do to Creighton on their home court, and then you beat a top 15 UCLA team, and then you look how you've looked the last 6 games. It makes no sense. The worst part about this all started with a 15-point lead at Iowa, and it's been downhill ever since. That's the most frustrating thing. But whenever people are like, fire this guy, fire that guy, all right, that's 49% of the equation, because the most important part of the equation, all right, is who's going to be the next coach. Do you have somebody who's going to be equal to, and if they're equal to, why are you making a move, or better than? That's what I always come back to. Like, there was some asinine, not assa 7, not assa 8, assa 9 people last year. Fire Matt Rule. All right, who are you going to bring in that's better right now? That was my thought at the time. Okay. I love that there's a text fight. Let me know more about that text. What's going on with the text fight, man?
Oh, they're just arguing between which quarterback it is. But there's a couple other thoughts.
That's the argument? Which quarterback?
Which quarterback Russell Wilson beat out that we were trying to think of earlier.
So Tavarius Jackson may have been in that quarterback room. I don't recall. The guy I was thinking of, because he won the 2007 national title at LSU, I'm pretty sure, was Matt Flynn.
That's right.
And it was Matt Flynn. He had the big contract. And I remember thinking, with all due respect, really? And then he became a guy that has a national championship to his name, but I couldn't think of on today's show. And that doesn't happen too often, if we're being honest. All right, Chiefs, Bills. And we're going to get to the Commanders, a team that I am insanely proud of. They exceeded every single expectation. Yes, they gave up a record amount of points in the NFC Championship game. 55 points by the Eagles is the most amount of points ever given up in an AFC or NFC Championship game in history. I get it. They had way too many turnovers, et cetera, et cetera. They jumped over the pile trying to stop the quarterback sneak on like the 1/10 of a 1,000th millimeter line by the time they had moved the ball half the distance to the goal 15 times. I'm pretty sure Cam Jurgens' nose was already in the end zone. Okay, I have no problem with that. How is she going to stop that freaking play? They can boo all they want. We're trying to stop something. It didn't work. Nobody stops that play. All right, we're going to get to that later on the show along with some other Husker sports. But when you think about the Chiefs, you think about the Bills. Okay, I thought it was a phenomenal game. If you think about it, the difference is 2-point conversions. The Bills went for 2 twice. That's minus 2 points. The Chiefs went for 2 once. Got it. The difference was 32 to 29. Now, there was also a couple other differences in there as well. Technically, the Bills actually won the turnover battle. I don't know if people realize that. The Bills did not lose the turnover battle once this year. In 20 games, didn't lose it once. And actually, the Chiefs winning while also losing the turnover battle, was the first time all postseason that the winning team in an NFL playoff game lost the turnover battle. Every other team that won an NFL playoff game this postseason won the turnover battle. I thought it was a phenomenal game. The Chiefs are going to go for history. As we all know, three-peat, never been done. In fact, the last time a major sports team, major professional sports team, had a three-peat. Jake, you might know this. This isn't the trivia question, but you might notice. It was not in the NFL. I'll just give you that one hint. Do you have any idea who or when it was?
That's good. I'm going to think maybe the Lakers, early 2000s?
Yes, you nailed it. Dude, you are so good at these trivia questions. I'm going to start making the fans go against you. You are really good at this. Although I did find a minor chink in the armor, the NFL, but that's okay. If you ask me about NHL hockey or something like that, I ain't going to know crap. Wayne Gretzky and Alex Ovechkin, that's about all I got for you. All right. If the Chiefs do indeed three-peat, it'll be the first three-peat in NFL history, as we all know, but the first three-peat in major pro sports history since Kobe Bryant and the Lakers did it in 2000, 2001, and 2002. Also, you probably saw this on social media. I think it was either yesterday or the day before, but it was the 5-year anniversary of Kobe Bryant and everyone who was in that helicopter that unfortunately went down and crashed. But it was kind of a connection there of Kobe Bryant, but then also what the Lakers did, and then to the Chiefs as well. So are you rooting for the Chiefs to do this? Are you rooting for this, Jake? Do you want them to do it?
I haven't. Sometimes it's always hard when you ask me these questions, because when everybody asks you, like, who's your NFL team? My NFL team's the Cardinals. So it's like, who are you cheering for? It's like, well, the Cardinals. But
you've had a rough life, my friend.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So but for being close to Kansas City and growing up most of my life, they might maybe make a wild card or something like that, but they weren't. There's not a free agency destination or anything like that. To see it come, this far to be able to make history, I think would be really cool. So I think I haven't completely decided, but I think I might cheer for him.
So here's how I was going into championship weekend. By the way, it's my show, so I'll pat myself on the back. I'm 4 for 4 on championship game picks. I predicted Ohio State and Notre Dame before the college football playoff started to be in the national championship. I mean, once you get there, it's easy to predict Ohio State over Notre Dame. But this was right after the Michigan loss, by the way. 51 days after they lost to Michigan, they won the national title. Exactly. By the way, that's way too long. The college football playoff is drug out way too freaking long. Topic for another day. All right. Coming into this weekend, and then I predicted the Eagles, and I predicted. Actually, did I take the Bills? I took the Bills, so I'm 3-1. Let me correct myself. Yeah. I'm 3-1. I took the Bills over the Chiefs. I said I don't think they're as good, but the ball's finally going to bounce the opposite way of the Chiefs, and it obviously did not. So I'm 3-1. That's okay. All right. Going into the weekend, I was really okay with 3 teams winning, and there was 1 team I didn't want to win. In the NFC, I wanted the Commanders. That do I have to explain? That's my former team. I got a bunch of connections, et cetera, et cetera. You look at the AFC. Though if the Chiefs win, there's potential history in the aspect of first three-peat in NFL history. First three-peat in major pro sports in almost 25 years. 23 years, I believe. If the Bills win, I grew up watching those Bills team. I remember wide right versus the Giants. I remember them getting just curb stomped versus the Redskins in 91. I remember the Cowboys in 92, 93. And they actually, if you remember at halftime, they got killed out in Pasadena that first year. Michael Jackson performed at the halftime, all that stuff. But the next year, I forget where it was at, but it was inside a dome. The Bills were either up by 3 or only down by 3. And it was like a game. And then the Cowboys pulled away the second half. You probably know this, but no NFL teams ever gone to 4 straight Super Bowls. No NFL teams ever lost 4 straight Super Bowls. So either you were going to have the Chiefs going for a three-peat or the Bills trying to get their first Super Bowl win. And I grew up with all those Bills memories in my head. I love Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, all those guys. Jim Talley, Bruce Smith on defense. I'm not even a Bills fan. I just like that team. And I didn't plan on talking about that. All these years later, it's just off the top of my head because I really enjoyed watching those Bills teams. All right, so you were going to have that out of the AFC, so there was no bad option. The only team I didn't want to get in was the Eagles. I got nothing against the Eagles. They're a divisional rival, my former team, the Redskins. I'm like, the Commanders has a great story. The Chiefs have a great story. The Bills have a great story. The Eagles, you already won your Super Bowl. You got over your drought. You're not interesting to me anymore. So I am rooting for the Chiefs, mostly because Midwest, but I want to see something that's never happened before. And if the Commanders were in the game, I would have been rooting for them, but they're not, so I'm rooting for the Chiefs. That's kind of where I'm at. Actually, I'll put that out to the fine folks at home. Are you rooting for the Chiefs? Let us know. We're about to go to break. All right, give them that number again there, Jake.
402-464-5685.
Still never changes. Text in. Let me know. Are you rooting for the Chiefs to three-peat? Yes or no? All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway. The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK. Make flying easy.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Brighton plays Everton at 9 a.m., followed by Man City versus Chelsea at 11:30 a.m. On Sunday, Aston Villa takes on West Ham at 10:30 a.m., followed by Fulham versus Man United at 1 p.m. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Sports Show!
The 56th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show is bigger and better than ever. January 31st to February 2nd at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Don't miss it.
Sports Show!
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Segment 2 of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue at 11th and Cornhusker, open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burn-end sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much, much more, plus incredible size. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, located at 11th and Cornhusker. All right. So, people don't want free stuff today. That's okay. I'm just going to ask you the trivia question.
Okay.
And you probably will get it. All right. But that's all right. Who, because we're living in a day and age, like when I was playing and when I grew up, guys only left early to go to the NFL if they had like a first round grade on them. A lot of times, if you weren't top 15, you weren't going. Now we got guys going and don't even get drafted. I don't understand it. Now, if you've been in college for 18 years, that's different. But even before then, even before all that, we had guys going that we're maybe going to go 7th round. I don't get it, but that's not my business. I did choose to stay for my senior year, and I was projected to go 21st overall after my junior year, but this was my lifelong dream, was to play at Nebraska. But who was the first Nebraska football player ever to leave early and into the NFL draft? I can give you a hint that will 1,000% give it away, but I'm not going to do that right away. Make you search for it a little bit.
Well, I know because we talked to him the other day that Johnny Mitchell left after his sophomore year, which was before the 3-year rule. So that would be my guess.
Yep, Johnny Mitchell. You nailed, dude. You're insanely good at this. This is crazy. I don't even give you a warning. I don't give you a topic. That's really impressive.
I only learned that in the last week, though. So I'm glad you waited. If you would have asked me last Monday, I would have known that.
Okay. All right. Johnny Mitchell, the first Nebraska. He left after his sophomore year. I didn't even know it was his sophomore year. First Nebraska football player ever to leave school early and enter the NFL draft. I think he did all right. Did pretty well for himself. I know we got some textuals here as far as people who do or do not want the Chiefs to win and three-peat, all right, when it comes to back-to-back Super Bowls. But I'm going to ask you for any comments that stick out to you. But before I ask Jake that, I want people to keep in mind a couple of things. Penalties during the Chiefs' 8-game win streak in the playoffs, roughing the passer, like called on, Chiefs opponents. 0 on the Chiefs' 6. Unnecessary roughness. Once on the Chiefs, 4 on the opponents. So it seems a little bit more balanced than you might think. And here's another one. Opponents have had more penalties than the Chiefs. This is before Sunday. I don't know what Sunday is yet. It's right in front of me. I could look. In 11 straight playoff games. So the other stat to think about, and they talked about this during the game, the last time the Chiefs had one One turnover Sunday. The last time they'd had a turnover before that was mid-November. They had ran 501 plays from scrimmage without a turnover. That is mind-blowing to me. Okay? So just people should kind of keep that in mind. All right, when it comes to penalties, on Sunday specifically, the Bills had 6 for 48. The Chiefs had 5 for 21 yards. 21, that's an odd number to have. But anyways, what are the people on the textual line saying there, Jake?
Yeah, we can go to the text line also off of YouTube. Jane Dunlap, who has a Kansas City logo on her Facebook, says, yes, she's cheering for the Chiefs. So that makes a little bit of sense.
Gave that away.
Justin on YouTube comes up with, no, I'm cheering for Cam and the Eagles. So I know a lot of people will be cheering for
that's a good
former
point.
Huskers.
Yep, that's a good point.
Nick Gates also on the Eagles, by the way. And then there's a lot of people that don't really want either team to win. 5162 says, I'm rooting for a meteor. So there you go. Both fan bases are the worst. So they've got that. OGCJ kind of feeling the same way. Says the Chiefs can lose all games from now till the end of time. I have noticed.
Raiders fan, maybe?
Well, I
Broncos?
have noticed, and it happened with the Royals. It happened with the Cubs. A lot more Chiefs fans here in Lincoln than there were maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. I don't know why, but maybe some bandwagon fans. Maybe that bothers some people.
Bandwagon.
Yeah, but there's some people that are happy. The Cowboys fans chiming in saying we'll go either way. I don't really care.
You have a puppet for a head coach. Just see what happens with you guys. When's the last time they got in the playoffs? Wasn't it like 96?
Who's that? Cowboys?
Yeah.
Well, they've gotten to the playoffs. I think that's the last time they went to the NFC Championship.
Is that what it is? Went to the NFC Championship
every other
game,
NFC
like 96.
has been since. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man. The Cowboys are always tough for me. They were actually my favorite NFL team growing up for no discernible reason other than they were good. And I grew up in the state of Washington and the Seahawks sucked at the time. Okay. They were still in the Tacoma Dome with an AstroTurf field. If anybody recalls that, probably nobody here does. And like the Cowboys were really good. And so as like an elementary school kid and, whatever I was, first, second grade, I kind of like the Cowboys. My rookie year, we went and played the Cowboys back when they had the hole in the roof stadium. You know why they said they had the hole in the roof?
Why's that?
So God could watch them play football. That's the truth. That's what I was told by Cowboys fans in the midst of our rivalry. And obviously now they got Jerry World. And we played them. I was with the Rams. I wasn't even with the Skins yet. And for no discernible reason, I walked away from that game just hating them. Nothing really happened. I just walked away hating them. And then I went to D.C. And of course, that's the Cowboy or the Commanders, Redskins, the football team, whatever you want to call them, their big rival. I may have said this before on the show. I don't remember. Our first preseason game, my first year there, okay, we're playing the Bills in the preseason. And in the fourth quarter, we don't play the Cowboys till like week 6, by the way. We've still got 3 preseason games. And then we've got 6 regular season games or 5 before we get to the Cowboys. So we're talking like 2-3 months. And they're chanting, we want Dallas. We want Dallas. I was like, man, these people really don't like Dallas. All right, let's get back to the matchup just a little bit. One of the key matchups coming into this was for me, and we're not going to spend too much time on this, but the Chiefs pass rush. They had 8 sacks versus the Texans. The Buffalo Bills had given up the least amount of sacks in the entire NFL coming in to Sunday's game. They gave up 3 sacks to the Chiefs, so it wasn't anything too crazy. I thought Clete Blakeman, all right, did a phenomenal job as the ref. Former Nebraska quarterback. All right, he's actually a lawyer. Is he still a lawyer in Omaha right now? Do you know, Jake?
I don't know if that's current, but yeah, I know he was.
I know he was. All right. So he played as a quarterback while studying at the University of Nebraska from 1984 to 1987. He had talent, too, helping his team achieve a 70-0 shutout victory over the Kansas Jayhawks. In that game, he scored 3 passing touchdowns and another rushing touchdown as well. All right, final button on the Chiefs versus Bills. The Chiefs scored 21 points in the first half, which I thought was interesting because it was the most amount of points they scored in any half of any game this entire season. And to me, at the end of the day, they just found a way to win. It's just what they always do. I don't buy into they're in cahoots with the refs and all this stuff. I've been in the middle of 2-a-days. I've been like, we're out there in full pad scrimmaging in St. Louis, for example. It's so hot. They had come on the radio. I'm driving to that practice from our hotel where we were staying at as a team. And they said, keep your dogs inside. It's not safe for them to be out, but we're out in full pad scrimmaging about an hour later. I'm pretty sure I'm not going through all that BS for there to be a script. As much as I love the WWE, this ain't the WWE. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe things have changed, but I'd be pretty surprised. All right, and we'll talk about the Commanders, Eagles, and preview a little bit of the Super Bowl matchup here in the last segment. So I'm going to go through a few things Husker sports related pretty quickly here. All right, I actually put this out. I shared it from Pro Football College stats on X. Ja'Cory Barney had the most targets in the country without a drop last season. That was 76 of them. I'm very excited to see Andrew Marshall can do, the DB coming in from Idaho. He's projected to be one of our 2 starting DBs. Let's say he doesn't play DB. Let's say he just returns the frickin' ball for us. All right, the last time Nebraska averaged at least 10 yards per punt return was 9 years ago, 2016. By the way, every special teams coach will tell you that they want to average 10 yards per return, a first down. You want to give your offense a first down every time you return the ball. Incoming portal DB, Andrew Marshall, averages 10.7 yards per punt return. Last year, we averaged 4.7, by the way. All right, now, I don't expect him to keep this up, but he also averages 41.4 yards per kick return. That'd be insane if he could keep that up. I got a question for you. All right, as I'm scrolling through here, screenshots, I'm going to stump you.
Uh-oh.
I'm looking at 12. The 12 teams with the most Heisman Trophy winners. Can you name the top 5? Who are the top 5 college football teams with the most Heisman Trophy winners? You have to get at least 4.
USC.
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
All
you need is one more.
Ohio State.
Yes. All right.
I feel better.
Well, can you get number 5 just for bragging rights' sake? Good
okay.
Lord, Jake.
I don't think Michigan would be there.
They're tied with us. They have 3. We have 3. LSU has 3. Florida State has 3. Florida has 3. Army has 3. Auburn has 3. This team has 4. So USC has 8. Ohio State 7. Oklahoma 7. Notre Dame 7. This team has 4.
Are they a blue blood?
Yes.
Okay.
If you don't get it, you're going to feel silly, even though you got everything else right.
Texas?
No, Alabama. 4. Alabama has 4.
Yeah, I do feel silly.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? Why can't you get these right? All right, we talked about this a little bit on a previous show, so I'm not going to spend much time on it. Maybe we'll revisit it in the future. But the Huskers are ranked in 3 way too early rankings for 2025. Quick thoughts on that, Jake, then we'll move on.
I'm not too bothered by it just because Nebraska, again, I think the biggest thing for me is that they did enter the rankings this past year. Obviously, it's about where you finish, not where you start. And so, there's a lot of reasons to believe Nebraska could make that jump, the third-year jump. You bring in Dana Holgerson as the offensive coordinator. So there's a lot of reasons to believe that they could make that jump. At the same time, if I were to do the rankings, I'd probably have them a little bit outside. But it's not, I think anywhere from like 22 to 32, wherever you want to make your little spot. I mean, that's where they belong. So if I have them a little higher than I do, then so be it.
I agree with everything you said. If I was doing the rankings, I'd put them at 26. Just because even if I want to put us in the top, well, I want to. Even if I think we should be in the top 25, we ain't done jack to earn it. So I would put us at 26 because we need to earn that thing. All right. Record-setting day in West Point. Nebraska rifle. This is per them on X. The Huskers set a school record in the aggregate. All right, 4,731. And small bore, 2,354. I'm not going to pretend like I know what that means. But basically what I see here is we outshot UAB. All right, another school, and then Army. Army got second, we got first, and we set a school record. I think the 4,731 was the school record. Do you know what that number means?
No, I do not.
I don't mind talking about things and giving out props, even if I don't know what I'm talking about. If I feel like I have a little bit more of familiarity or knowledge on a subject, I'll dive into it. Otherwise, I just want to shout out the Nebraska rifle team. I will say this. We used to be really good friends with the head Nebraska rifle coach. Oh, man. Probably about 2010. Okay. She was only there a couple of years. Then she ended up moving to Colorado. But she was really good friends with my wife, Angie. She's actually my son, his godmother. All right. So that's how close we were. Here's my bragging rights. When we first moved to our previous house, before we came back to Lincoln, we set up the Wii and had duck hunt. I love duck hunt. Ever since I was a kid, I loved the Oregon Trail when I was a kid and duck hunt. Duck hunt's probably my favorite game. So I'm like, hey, Stacy, come here. We're going to play duck hunt. She looks at me, goes, really? I'm the rifle coach in Nebraska. I was like, you're going down. I beat her. And to this day, I can say that I outshot Nebraska rifle coach on the Wii, on the duck hunt. All you need to know is I outshot Nebraska's rifle coach back in the day. All right, let's move on. Nebraska women's basketball having a great season so far. Had a 5-game win streak. Played Ohio State, number 12 Buckeyes in the country, really well. I believe it was 72-66 PBA Arena. All right, they had a 15-game home win streak that they did not continue But I want to shout them out for a phenomenal effort, playing a very good basketball team. The fans packed PBA. Nearly 10,000 fans watched the game. All right. The other side of the flip coin, men's basketball seems to be falling apart, bursting at the seams. This is what I wrote. They just lost 83-55 to Wisconsin. Nebraska's 6th straight loss, and et cetera. All right. Anything else from the Fred Hoiberg question from earlier? I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that.
Yeah, there was a few responses.
What'd they say?
And it was talking about, if I can scroll back here and try to find them to give them their
due I'll talk for a second while you look. For me, it's on the defensive side of things, because the way Hoiberg wants to play defense, everything you do demands effort. Okay, it demands effort, but it demands an extreme amount of effort, because they want to take away the low post. They want to force you to shoot threes, which means that the guards got to be fast on the rotation down low. And when they pop it out for the open three, they got to get out there fast. You want to know why we beat Creighton and we beat UCLA the way we did early in the season? They were out there fast. The rotation's a little slower. The effort is not the same. There's more that goes into this, and I can dive into it more in the future. But the rotation on defense is not what it was, because the effort is not what it was. That's where I'm at. All right, what do people think, Jake?
Yeah, kind of similar to what in Texas said. He said, fire Hoiberg. He lost the team. As soon as I see games, a lot of just lack of effort, poor passes, poor defense. Is this not seen in practice? So he's fed up. But Derek Nakar says, although I'm not personally in panic mode regarding Nebraska men's basketball, I do, however, believe many fans are uneasy about the trajectory of the program overall. I'd like to remind everyone that arguably our best player is recovering from knee surgery in Rink Mass, but hopefully Fred can turn it around this year and is retained for another year. So some different thoughts there, but it's tough in the midst of a 6-game losing streak to say you're getting your best ball out of him.
It is. I think Fred should be back. I'm not trying to say that he shouldn't. I'm just starting to see little things here and there, and I'm like, well, I'll just pose it out to the people. What do they think? Okay, and how much of a difference do you think not having Rink Mass has made? Because you said it right. Like, if you typically have about 2 to 3 of your best players, every basketball team usually has about 2 to 3 players that are their best players, and everyone else fills a role and does their part, and it brings together a team, a la the Bulls, Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, or Horace Grant before Rodman. They just brought in a more colorful Horace Grant when they brought in Rodman, but they were the ultimate role players for the main guys on the team. How much do you think it's hurting Nebraska not having Mass?
Well, it's huge. I mean, I think especially kind of their big men rotation, they've been kind of tinkering with that, trying to see what to do there. Rink Mass, I think, was either borderline or was an all Big Ten performer last year, third team, somewhere around there. So, and it would have been a huge kind of your big three would have been coming back with Bryce Williams and Gary and Mass. So it's a big loss. They don't have a whole lot they don't have a stretch big necessarily without him, which can open up things offensively. So, they'd be in a better place, but they knew they didn't have them all along. So they were planning for it, and just hasn't turned out to plan.
So I do think it's an impact. I do think it makes a difference. Let's remember Notre Dame made the national championship game without 40% of their offensive line. So did Ohio State. Okay, lost the Remington Award winner, moved their All-American guard to tackle. Keep in mind, the Chiefs have a guard at tackle right now, which you do not do in the NFL, with all due respect to guards. You do not do that. But they're in the Super Bowl right now. So to me, it is a part of the process. And again, I think Fred should be back. I'm not trying to say that he shouldn't. I think for me, just how does it look this bad? How do we look so one way and now it's so the other way? That's why I got really riled up about Nebraska football at times last year. Because I don't like when you're that vastly looking good at one point, first half Illinois, and then second half Illinois versus other games, and again, I'm optimistic about what we're doing. We're drinking the Kool-Aid here. No, we're not drinking the Kool-Aid. We're getting to drinking the Kool-Aid, but I do like a lot of the transfer portal additions we've had. But I look at the basketball team, and there's something more going on. All right, a couple of final thoughts. The women's gymnastics team won their meet. Maryland got second. University of Nebraska beat them 196 to 195, though. But Emma Spence, all right, I want to give a shout-out to her. She won the vault, she won the beam, and she won the all-around. She had a phenomenal performance, so shout out to Emma. All right, and then one final thought here before we go to break and we come back. A couple other things, but we'll chat Commanders, Eagles, very early look ahead to the Super Bowl. Jake, Chiefs, three-peat, more people chimed in. Yes, no, is it 50-50? Where are we at on that?
People seem to be just not embracing the Chiefs, but maybe the people that are embracing the Chiefs just didn't text in.
It's that whole ref. People just get sick and tired of a team losing. They do. When I grew up in the state of Washington, people hated Nebraska. You would have thought they just wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we care? They're like half the country away. No, they hated Nebraska. Why? Because we dominated Washington multiple times. Okay, the state with which I grew up in. I was born in Hastings. But people just get sick of a certain team winning and they just find reasons to hate them. People in Washington have no reason to hate the University of Nebraska football team, but they did. Trust me. All right, and I'd give it right back. It was easy because we were winning games back then. But the final thought before we had to break. And I talked about the Outland Trophy ceremony last week. I forgot to mention one thing because it disgusts me. Texas is the first school to have back-to-back winners of the Outland Trophy since 1980, 81, 82. That school was Nebraska. We won it 3 years in a row. But they're also the first school to have back-to-back Outland Trophy winners on the offensive side of the ball. And then a few years later, on the defensive side of the ball, and then a few years later, the past 2 years on the offensive side of the ball. If Nebraska wants to get back to competing at the level that we want to, we've got to have more guys in that conversation going forward. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Brighton plays Everton at 9 a.m., followed by Man City versus Chelsea at 11:30 a.m. On Sunday, Aston Villa takes on West Ham at 10:30 a.m., followed by Fulham versus Man United at 1 p.m. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK. Make flying easy.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard, increase security, and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Hello, I am Ayanna Blake, and welcome to Mind Your Mind. My girlfriend recently added a sign to her beauty shop that reads, "Life is beautiful." I know many may not see life the same way. Some may view it as hard, depressing, grievous, lonely, or even cruel. But does it have to be? I can't help but hear the reggae classic by Friday and Colonel Mike, "Life is what you make it." As I looked at her newly decorated wall with the words, "Life is beautiful," she looked at me and said, "You have to find the beauty in it. Despite how life has treated us, we must dig deep to find the beauty in it. After all, we are alive and breathing. Why not change your view and see the beauty in it?" I encourage you today to change your perspective. Step back and change the direction of your view. There is beauty in everything if you look close enough. I am Ayanna Blake, reminding you to mind your mind. For more inspiration, connect with me on social media or visit AyannaBlake.com. Until next time, take care of your mind and keep moving forward on your pathway to wellness.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got about 3 minutes. We got to wrap it up quick. We're going to talk a little Commanders, the Eagles. Here's what I want you folks, if you're so inclined, to text in on the text line. What's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
Yep, still the same. Let me know, who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl? Now, who do you want to win? Who do you think's going to win? I'm sure the Chiefs are favored. I haven't even looked yet. Do you think the Chiefs or the Eagles? Who do you think's going to win? Let us know. All right, in the meantime, I don't know how familiar you all are with WWE superstar Kevin Owens. I've never been a big fan. I didn't think he was bad. I didn't think he was great. But he may have just become one of my favorite superstars of all time. So obviously Matthew McConaughey, big-time Texas fan, Longhorns fan. He's like on the sideline of every freaking football game. And then I saw him on the next to the bench of the basketball team, and he literally looks at them, and he goes like this, and he says, "Get up," and they all stand up. I'm like, is this dude coaching now? Is this what's going on? Anyways, Owens looks at McConaughey at a local, I think it was SmackDown event, And he says, and I quote, at the Rumble, he's wrestling Cody Rhodes. At the Rumble, I'm going to beat Cody just like Ohio State beat your stupid Longhorns, end quote. Immediately, now one of my favorite wrestlers. Attaboy, Kevin Owens. All right, I don't know if you saw this. Lane Kiffin tweeted out a thing about his dad, Monty Kiffin. All right, Monty was an offensive tackle for the Huskers from 1961 to 63, was a defensive coordinator under Bob Devaney from 67 through 76. Later, he was an assistant coach for the Tampa Bay Bucks in the NFL. Kiffin was a high school all-stater and All-American at Lexington High School in Nebraska. I met Monty at the Senior Bowl, and he told me how, like, a little bit more details about how the black shirts came about beyond just the, hey, nobody wanted these black jerseys, and that's how they ended up with them. And he told me all about that. So at some point I have to go back into that. He was one of my favorite defensive coordinators that I've only ever had for a week in my life, but he was pretty awesome. Lane, because he said something about at Husker football or something about Nebraska. Like, Lane, love your dad, tolerate you, get over the SEC bias. All right. You probably saw this. This was everywhere, but this was too good. Anytime you're feeling down, and if you're a Nebraska basketball fan who's feeling down right now, at least we're not Florida State football fans, because Florida State University had more inches of snow on their stadium this past week, 2.1 inches, which is technically more wins than they had all season, which was 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Commanders and the Eagles. The Eagles head coach is now, Sirianni is now the first Eagles head coach to ever take his team to 2 Super Bowls. And really, I thought the Commanders played pretty well. They actually ran more plays, had more yards. The Eagles had more yards per play, mostly because of the rushing yards that they had. But it was the 4 turnovers. 4 freaking turnovers. The 2 games this year, the division foes, they play twice every year. The 2 games this year were decided by an average of 5.5 points between the 2 games. All right. The Eagles won by 8. The first meeting, the Commanders came back and won. Had a 20-point comeback in the second meeting, won by 3, 36-33. That adds to 11 divided by 2, 5.5. But this was not a separation of just 5 to 6 points. They lost 55-23. So for me, it was all about the turnovers. 4 turnovers, just buried them. They're not good enough to overcome that. Frankly, I don't think they were as good as the Eagles, obviously. But even before the game, it was kind of one of those things. Are they the hot team? Is Jalen Hurts healthy, by the way? It looked just fine. So he should be good to go in the Super Bowl, obviously. And can Jaden Daniels just keep riding that magic carpet that he's been on? Obviously, they had a phenomenal season. I'm incredibly proud of the Commanders and the season they had, and the future there is insanely bright. And they have a lot to look forward to. Let's see. The Commanders had 30 fourth down conversions this season. That's the most all time in a single season in NFL history. Jaden Daniels, I mean, maybe the greatest season a rookie quarterback's ever had. Most touchdowns by a rookie ever. Led Washington to their first playoff win in almost 20 years and first conference championship game in 30 years. 99.7 passer rating, 4,390 pass yards, 1,026 rush yards. Threw for almost 4,500 yards, rushed for over 1,000 yards. He had 7 rushing touchdowns on the season as well. Most total touchdowns for a rookie ever. Most total touchdowns in a season by a Washington quarterback ever. All right. So the future's incredibly bright there. They got to shore up some things on defense. They got to get him some more weapons. It can't just be him and Scary Terry McLaren. But I'm excited for the future. All right. Who do the folks have winning way too early on in our Super Bowl predictions? And then we'll get out of here, Jake.
Well, the Chiefs fans have come out since we challenged them and to cheer for the Chiefs and say the Chiefs are going to win. By the way, they're a 2.5-point favorite early on.
2.5-point favorites. I like it. All right. I'm going to hold my pick. You got an early pick or you holding yours, Jake?
I'll hold mine.
All right. Until tomorrow, go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bones.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of